Welcome to Canonymous. The liberals only really have one tactic when they go after Pierre and the conservatives, and that's the whole Bitcoin opt-out of inflation talking point that they use all the time. So today I want to take a look at the old PCP leadership debate where Pierre goes into what his position on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies really is.
Mr. Poilievre encouraged people to buy Bitcoin.
Not even 3 seconds in and you're already getting the man's name wrong. The disrespect, Leslie. Or is she? I'm pretty sure she is.
Mr. Poilievre encouraged people to buy Bitcoin, which is a digital currency. So I'm quite surprised that he is saying now that he would ban digital currency, as if he does not know that Bitcoin is a digital currency. He also encouraged people to cash in their fiat currency, their paper money, and buy Bitcoin. If they had done that, they would have lost $37,000 by the time he had said that to do that to today. So I'm very concerned about that.
Clearly showing why you were not selected as the leader. Now, Leslie Lewis, we love you. Strong, independent black woman. I'm a black guy underneath this, by the way, just a black guy wearing whiteface. So I want her to do well. But sometimes she needs to tone that confidence down, especially when she doesn't know what she's talking about. If you yourself are unsure, she's actually referencing CBDCs, which are central bank digital currencies. She thinks she's talking about Bitcoin and blockchain and crypto. But CBDCs are separate from Bitcoin and crypto. Both are digital, yes, but CBDCs aren't any different than regular fiat owned, controlled, and dependent on banks and countries, whereas crypto is meant to be owned by the people, controlled by the people, and depends on the people. Just a quick summary, by the way. I'm a big crypto fan. I'm heavily invested, just so you know, guys, where I stand on all this. Anyways, Pierre chews her out pretty nicely right here, so let's watch the lambasting.
Mr. Poilievre.
Well, that's just false. One, Bitcoin is not a central bank digital currency. It is obviously not. It's not controlled by any central bank anywhere in the world. Two, people can make their own investment decisions. I've simply said they should be free to decide whether or not they want to use Bitcoin. I don't want to be like communist China and ban Bitcoin or other technologies, because in a free market, people should have the opportunity to make those decisions for themselves. That's my position.
And that's how you do it, baby. You're going to hear from the others as well later on in the video, the other conservatives there, and all of them don't seem to know what crypto really is. All they hear are scams, and don't get me wrong, there are a ton of scams in the crypto community. This is why education should be the most important thing, not just banning a piece of technology that you don't even understand how it works. Imagine people trying to ban the internet because they don't understand how it works. It would be crazy. I'm sure somebody tried to do it, to be honest, like ban the internet. I just don't remember hearing about it. Thailand, I believe it's Thailand, has a really good way of approaching this, which is education first, informing their people about how crypto works, how blockchain works, how it gets its fears and its complexities. That comes with it, but also the benefit of what you can gain from it. Another thing I want to quickly go over is Pierre is kind of wrong about China banning it. I know a lot of media outlets say that China has banned crypto, but that's just not true. What they have done is essentially limited people's ability to buy from just anywhere. Limited, and a very extensive crackdown came in 2021. The document signed by a bunch of Chinese officials had a wide range of restrictions. It said virtual currencies do not have the same legal status as fiat currency, basically being that BTC is not legal tender, and it says virtual currency related business activities are considered to be illegal financial activities. So you can't swap your Bitcoin for a cheeseburger. Exchange businesses should not act as central counterparties to buy and sell virtual currencies, and it is illegal for overseas virtual currency exchanges to provide services to Chinese residents through the internet. So, they have very specific rules around this. But a lot of it being that, you can still hold crypto, there's nothing wrong with that, and you can still do peer-to-peer exchanges. So people are still finding ways to get around it. I think Binance has a note that you're not allowed to operate on Binance if you're from mainland China. But like I said, peer-to-peer is still there, so they're still finding other ways. So an outright ban across it, again, peer-to-peer and holding it, isn't there. But you can still buy in China. Binance just did something like $90 billion in 2023. Binance is a crypto exchange, which, FYI, is not operating in Canada anymore, to my understanding. Because I had to pull out all of my coins out of there because of a whole regulatory yada yada.
Thank you very much. Are we done? No, Dr. Lewis, one more time.
In fact, Mr. Poilievre said that you could hedge against inflation, which is not true. So Mr. Poilievre is promoting a decentralized currency over his own government's currency. That is a problem for someone who held a shadow cabinet position as a finance minister.
Now, I'm pretty sure he's going to dispute this himself in the next clip, but I'm going to dispute it as something he said just because I couldn't find the clip of him saying it. If somebody does have the clip, link it in the comments down below and I'll be sure to watch it. But what I could find were these clips.
Criminal cryptocurrency scams are on the rise in Canada with millions lost.
The value of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies has fallen off a cliff.
Canadians lost almost $380 million to various types of fraud in 2021. And the number one scam was investing in cryptocurrency.
An Ontario man just lost his entire savings.
Bitcoin has plunged about 70% in value from its all-time high.
So that is my plan, to enable Canada to become the blockchain and crypto capital of the world. What this is, yes, you can applaud that if you like.
I don't see him saying directly opt out of inflation there. Just an out of context clip about how we can actually make Canadians money instead of costing them money. Or here.
Mr. Brown.
I have to agree with Dr. Lewis and Mr. Charest. I disagree with Mr. Poilievre's approach that you can opt out of inflation with cryptocurrency. Magic internet money fluctuates vastly, 30% or more in one day. And the last thing we should be doing is encouraging our parents and grandparents, along with vulnerable families, to gamble their savings, their retirements in something this risky that's been learned watching late night YouTube videos.
So he did tweet out a small shawarma business beat out inflation, but did not tell the people to opt out of inflation. Again, if you have the clip, send it to me. But when I Googled these words specifically, I couldn't find it. Because if he said that, he definitely should not have said that. That's just not responsible financial information. If anything, he could have said it was a hedge against inflation, which, to be fair, is what Lesline did say he said at the beginning of this clip. So maybe everybody else is misrepresenting him, and over here, she's actually telling the truth. But that's a very different than opt out of inflation, which is very specific and would be very damning. And I think him being, that he is a career politician, he was the finance minister at one point, would have chosen his words a lot better.
Sorry, Mr. Charest and then Mr. Brown.
Well, on Bitcoin, I mean, everyone just finds it totally bizarre what Mr. Poilievre is suggesting. We all get it on blockchain, that's fine. Bitcoin has lost 60% of its value since November of last year, 20% in the last month. Anyone following his advice that we saw on YouTube would have lost 20% of their earnings. Do you actually think your parents enjoy having your parents lose 20% of their retirement funds? I mean, this is lunacy, and it doesn't make sense at all.
At the time of him saying this, I'm pretty sure he was correct. I'm not even going to go back and look for it. Bitcoin at one point was massively down, as it tends to do, given that it is a cyclical market that is really volatile. I'll take a screenshot of whatever Bitcoin is at the moment that I'm editing this video. Chances are, given what I know the market is like right now, it's probably already close to, if not above, the all-time high of the last bull run. So somewhere around 70K or up, or maybe even massively above that, depending on how late I release this. It is still the best performing asset of maybe the last decade, but not financial advice, just food for thought.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Brown, that's not what I said. You're misleading the public. I clearly stated that people should have the freedom. Now, the reason why many people have chosen to exercise that freedom is because central banks have been attacking the value of our national currencies by printing $400 billion here in Canada, leading to 30-year highs in inflation, doubling the house prices, leading to massive volatility in many sectors of our economy. And that risk is one I pointed out earlier on and could lead to another debt crisis. So frankly, we should protect the value of our traditional money rather than banning private money.
Mr. Brown.
Exactly. Let's not educate them. Let's not tell them. Let's not provide institutional opportunities for them to do it safely with protections. Let's scare them. Let's scare the old people. Disgusting. As if the scaring tactic ever really works. I mean, long term. Eventually, it doesn't work. You can only scare people about COVID for so long until you're just like, all right, can we go outside now, please? And again, I might end up eating my words to this when somebody finds the clip, but he did not say opt out. At least I haven't seen it yet. He was right about one thing, though. This market is super volatile. If you were the least bit interested, or if you are, sorry, the least bit interested, get educated. This is not a crypto channel, so I'm not going to go into the nitty gritties of it. I probably won't even make another video like this again. But if you take away anything from this, it's just go read up. There is an infinite amount of information out there. Don't read up on what's the latest, trend meme coin or whatever, because that's where you're going to lose all your money. But check out the technology. Understand what blockchain is, because without blockchain, none of it really works. So the one thing Canada did is allow an EFT during the last bull run. There is a safe EFT that is available for people. You can get it on Wealthsimple. You don't have to custody yourself. It's a spot Bitcoin ETF, which means they actually have to have actual Bitcoin for this ETF.
So Mr. Poilievre just said that he didn't say that. No one in this room and no one in Canada will believe that you didn't say you can opt out of inflation through cryptocurrency. That is misleading. Your words are there. You can Google it yourself and watch it on the internet. And I have to say, it is bad advice to be giving to Canadians that is so risky. And you should know that. As a former finance critic, that's not the advice you should be giving to the country.
And Mr. Poilievre, you raised your paddle for one more time?
Mr. Brown, if you want to talk about risks to people's finances, you were the one who said, you promised when you ran for the leadership of the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario, you would oppose a carbon tax. And then as soon as you got in, you reversed yourself entirely. Not only did you endorse just any carbon tax, you endorsed the carbon tax of Justin Trudeau, which is in place today and recently increased and is one of the reasons why prices are so high across this country. That is a threat to our money. That is a decision you made after you promised not to. People can't believe a word you said.
Mr. Bever.
Why are you silencing the man for, mediator? He's talking sense. Everybody else on that panel is a bunch of idiosos. Mr. Brown is an idioso. Flawless Spanish. I don't know how you say idiot in Spanish. It's probably not. It's probably just gibberish, but you get what I mean. Well, I believe, because I have not seen the clip of him saying it yet. Again, I am ready to eat my words on this because it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Everything else he's saying is still true. It would have been stupid to tell people to opt out of inflation using that, but if you use the words hedge against inflation, tons of people have been saying that. He's not the first person to say that. Investing in Bitcoin or crypto is not a bad idea as long as you don't tell people to use your life savings to do so. If you can find the clip, then sure. But even then, he clearly understands crypto and blockchain way better than anybody else on his panel. And that's why he's currently the leader of the Conservatives. I'm ending it right here. Can't listen to these other fools talk anymore. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and come back for more.